For whatever reason, I play this last week beta, okay, the last beta before the release of Diablo 4. And I tried Bar on Friday. Bar is a class I like because it's very challenging. And it definitely has potential with all the arsenal, all the weapons slot. But I was like, okay, let's try Druid again because it got buffed. So I was like, okay, let's try to make this build that I've been thinking of. And honestly, I really enjoy it. It's not that strong build early on, probably you still want to farm with any of the elemental skills. Well, elemental skills, I mean nature magic. Probably it's gonna be a best way of leveling along with the companions. But I still enjoy playing with bear and wolf. And normally in RPGs, what I do is just level with the build I'm gonna play later on, and I have fun with that. So let's dive a little bit into the build. Don't worry, there's gonna be gameplay too. Okay, I'm just gonna go a little bit explaining the build. Starting with the basic, I go Maul just for the fortify. Later on, you get a lot of fortify effects. Fortify, you don't know, it's basically you attack with a fortify skills, or you generate fortify with a cooldown, with a skill, or with a passive. Once that fortify is equal as your life, you gain the damage reduction. It's 10% damage reduction, but then with gems and other effects like the Paragon trees, you can make the damage reduction increase. So you get fortify, and then you have a lot of damage reduction with it. Something that tends to happen is that if you have, for example, 50 fortify and your life is 100, right? As long as you have 51 to 100, you won't have that damage reduction, but you get hit very hard and you will go down to 50 or 49, you instantly will get 45. So even though sometimes you don't have 45, if you get hit, you're gonna get damage reduction instantly, right? So it's not that bad. The problem is it's very hard to sustain the 45 early on. You lose 45 over time too. I think it could be better, but I guess it has a lot of potential in late game because of all the scaling you can have. There's a lot of passes that give damage reduction, the Paragon trees that increase 45, a lot of passes that give you passively 45, so you need to gain it with a basic skill. So we'll see. I have the range, I like the range, but the knockdown can be relevant. I want the radius and the range so I can auto-attack faster and better, right? The claw is another option. My idea is you go 45 and then you use pulverize every 10 seconds, 12 seconds actually. This is outdated. It's every 2 seconds. So you fortify, you pulverize, the pulverize goes on cooldown, that means that you don't overpower, that's basically the biggest source of your damage, okay? And then what I do is I auto-attack a little bit more. You normally, with this spirit cost, you barely go down in spirit. So I auto-attack a little bit more, try to get that refill it, so I can do 2 shred. So I instantly turn into a shred, okay? And after shredding, I go back to the perform with Maul, gain 45 if I don't have it, and gain some spirits to prepare the pulverize. The idea about this build is behind this key passive, okay? After being a werewolf for 2.5 seconds, you gain 20% attack speed for 15 seconds. After being werewolf for 2.5 seconds, you deal increased damage. So the idea is to constantly switch from one form to another to keep both buffs active at all times. So the rotation will be Maul, Fortify, Pulverize. Use the Pulverize every 12 seconds. Go Shred, okay. After a Shred, you hit, you can do 2 combos, okay. 1, 2, 3 attacks, and then 1, 2, 3 attacks again. You fill your spirit. Maybe you want to add your core skills to do more damage, is something I have considered. But for that, you're gonna have to have more spirit that, you know, you can with the Paragon tree, okay? After Shred, just to maintain the wall form a little bit longer, you can Blood Hole. It is an ending that makes the Blood Hole give you extra critical, which is fine, it's not super crazy. Top of that, you're gonna heal, okay? And you gain attack speed. With the attack speed and the attack speed from this, both together is 35% more attack speed, okay? You will go back to Maul, and the Maul, suddenly the Maul that is a very slow attack, you start to attack faster. You fortify, you pulverize again, because the pulverize should have come back. You can debilitate Roar. I like debilitating Roar before turning into the wolf with the shred to protect the wolf. But in any case, you have this passive over here. 10%, 9% damage reduction in Werber form, okay? And it persists 3 seconds after the Werber. So the first seconds of the wolf, you're gonna be fine. Also, obviously, you have the Fortify already gained from the bear. So this should be okay is even in wolf form. You have Trample. I think I will go with Trample over the Grizzly Rage, because you need one of both just for Unstoppable, unless you can become a CC immune later on. That's maybe something you can do, okay? Something I need to test with the Paragon in the first season, but you probably can become 100% control impaired immune, meaning that you're just immune to any CC. So maybe you don't need Unstoppable, and maybe then you can use something else. I know, maybe a companion. You want a companion better. Honestly, the cooldown is very small on the Trample. Gives you Fortify that you might not need later on, and Unstoppable, right? So I rather have that than the ultimate, but I need to test the ultimate. The problem with the ultimate is that the ultimate lasts 10 seconds and it increases the duration as you kill. Okay? Kill extends duration 1 second, up to 10. So, you know, it will be 20 seconds and the cooldown will be 40 seconds left. It's a long cooldown, I believe, when you're not immune to CC. Because I'm thinking about this build for hardcore too. But I guess it's not that bad, okay? If you are CC immune, maybe for clearing dungeons is better to give you a little bit of extra damage. But in any case, I think Trample is going to be better. It's very good damage too, and the cooldown is smaller. Going to legendaries, okay, this is going to change a lot. It's going to depend. The legendary powers you strat are from dungeons, so it's deterministic. You just get the legendary powers that you want, and you go with that. But it's very relative to your game style, okay? One thing I like, whenever I change form, again life is good sustain. Then again Fortify, you have your life full. Okay, so it's another way of getting some Fortify and some sustain. Become injured, you become unstoppable. This is particularly good, so you can use your Trample a bit more aggressively. So when you have the unstoppable effect, this can give you the unstoppable effect in case you go low on life. So for hardcore, it's very good. But obviously this probably you can replace in another, for your software you can replace for some more damage. Or once you become unstoppable with the passives, maybe you can replace that, right? In this one, you do more damage based on the primary source. Pretty self-explanatory. I'm gonna be using Pulverize with full spirit. I'm gonna use Shred with full spirit. Probably very good for this build. Then you have Damage Elite, grants you a barrier. It's just good for defenses. Here I have extra damage. I have to guess that that's how it works, you know, if it's unstoppable, you do more damage, so versus boss is gonna be fine. Then we have some utility. Here you heal a second for each close enemy, very good for all melee builds. Particularly if you're gonna be surrounded with the bear, and sometimes it's hard to clear. Attacking enemies with basic skill, okay, Maul. Increase the damage of your core skill, so then you go Pulverize, that's your biggest source of damage. So fairly good. And Blood Hole gives you critical chance. It's just an utility. There's not much that I saw that I like. This is fine because you're gonna go Blood Hole, right? As explained before in the rotation. You're gonna get the attack speed. You're gonna go for the Maul with attack speed, right? And attack speed from the Steel Rampage too. And that attack speed combined with the critical chance, you're gonna do a Pulverize. As far as I know, you can overpower and crit the overpower, okay? Because I've done like up to 1000 damage. And here on the weapon, your core skills deal up to 20 to 40% more damage based on Mono 45. And we use 2 core skills, so this will be great for us and probably one of the best, the first things you wanna farm, that synergy between 45 and core skills. This honestly is more or less what makes this build worth going for, because having 2 core skills makes it super strong. You can also go for more speed, you increase damage depending on how much speed you generate. It's probably very good too. Also maybe game moment speed after werewolf form, but I found that PDR is better in hardcore. Trample is a oh fuck type of skill. Whenever something's wrong, just trample, get unstoppable, or sometimes it's good just to clear and to have some mobility. It's also pretty good. It's a skill I love, honestly. Every time you develop the road, you gain also this vigilance, and then you get the vigilance again after blood hole. So that's another good passive that makes you kinda wanna have both roars skills, right? Top of that, the roar skills also heal you. This is insta heal and this is the heal over time. So pretty cool. Now, So for that build, the Wolf Bear build, okay. This is the Paragon tree. Obviously, we're gonna change a lot of this. I went with life. You go softcore. Maybe damage is better. I choose this Paragon based on what I think are the best for this build: Ancestral Guidance, Lust for Carnage, Inner Beast, and Survival Instincts. I still have some points left that you can. I have flex to get some glyph, you know, and some stats around it based on what you get. I don't cover the glyph here in this video. It's gonna change too much to really focus that much. The Paragon trees, I put them in. I rotate some, but you don't really need to put them in this order. You can flex a little bit based on what you want. I think obviously getting the Werber skill here is probably the best. Also, when you are in Werber, you increase damage up to 50% for every 1% different current life between you and the enemy. That means if you are lower life, you're gonna do more damage. But if the enemy is lower life, if a boss is already 50% in life, and bosses tend to get harder as their life go down sometimes, right? In terms of mechanics, you're gonna do more damage to your full life, right? So going for this first, you get damage reduction with 45, wherever skill damage over power damage is probably what you wanna go for in general. The willpower also is a stat that gives you more damage over power, so that's very useful. I think it's the most useful Paragon tree. Then I have here the Inner Beast just for a bit of utility. I don't even want the legendary power. I just want shape-shifting skill damage that affects both, obviously, both form, armor and some healing, and maybe take the glyph. This one gives me a bit of extra life for hardcore, but something that you might not wanna pick up. Then here in this tree, the Lust for Carnage. The critical honestly is not really that good, but probably I will try it out since it's very close. We're leaving here Werewolf skill damage, right? Healing over time. Werewolf skill damage more here because we want in general damage or overpower damage. And if we have to choose bear damage for our will, probably is better. Here we pick this Paragon though because of the control impaired duration reduction. The idea is clear, is to have 100% control impaired duration reduction if possible. We'll see on release how it works, okay? We take attack speed, both at attack speed 5% and 5%, both for both forms, okay? This is attack speed. So it's very useful to get that to have that attack speed in both forms. Attack speed also is something that you want to put in your res. The gloves can grant attack speed. First I know only the gloves. And it's very, very important for this build, okay? It's very important for this build. We have healing reserve, more pull power, and extra healing reserve. And for the last Paragon, I have some flexibility to put more points. But for the last Paragon, I will go for this one for some utility. I have core skill damage, I have 2 core skills. That's why I rotated the Paragon tree like this, right? I cannot rotate now, but you can rotate them as you want, okay? So the idea is that you're gonna have some Paragon trees that is the one you want, another one that is very important, a secondary one. And then you're gonna have some Paragon skills that, in this case, for example, is just for good utility. So here, I just want this side of the Paragon skill tree, right? This is gonna give me core skill damage and willpower, and extra core skill damage with the requirements, maximum spirit and percentage life, for hardcore is great, and some resistance, okay? That's good enough for me. Obviously, I have here spirit, that is fine, basic skill damage. I could go for basic skill damage, honestly, it wouldn't be the worst. I still have some points, so honestly I could pick it up to make them all make a bit more damage, right? And then here some healing over time. The legendary node, Ancestral Guidance, is after spinning 75 spirit, you deal increased damage for 5 seconds. Can be good because I can pulverize, spend a lot, and then switch into shred and do a shred with the extra 30% more damage. One of the problems is gonna be that 75 spirit is a lot, honestly. Or I can, and only 5 seconds. Like I feel this is more for, this feels more like for some hybrid between shape-shifting and magic skills. But maybe I can fix it. I can put it on. I still have some points, you know. Could be something I can work on. The problem is it's on one side, so it's very hard to get to it. The problem is that sometimes I find myself, when I've been playing, right, my testing, I find myself like I shred and then I'm on and I need to set up, or I want monsters to group, or I want to walk towards the the elite, so I don't wanna pulverize right away, and 5 seconds is very low. In any case, the small is an idea. We're gonna need to test, but I think the main thing is that survival instinct seems the best. Okay, even that's only for bear is to pulverize. 650 skill damage, okay, in the inner beast. And you have in the Lost for Carnage, you have the control impaired duration. I have been control impaired duration reduction is something I'm focusing a lot. I'm giving it a lot of value. We'll have to see, but I think it could be very good, right? And then we have the ancestral guidance. That is just a bit of filler. You have extra life, extra resistance, extra healing, and that can be a good node, obviously. Okay, even the spirit on kill can be good. You combine it with this. But this is why I think this is for caster. Feels like this spirit of kill is something that you wanna cycle earth skills, you wanna cycle magic skills with, and then turn into bear, get fortified, do a pulverize, go back to magic skills. That's my idea, but maybe we can make it work with safe system. For last, I will talk about Spirit Bloons. This is like the specialization of the Druid that we didn't have in the beta. We'll get it in the quest in the release of the game. You have 4 spirit boons, 4 spirit powers. Basically, what you do is if you play the Druid in the beta, you saw that some currency dropping after killing enemies. With that currency, you can purchase these boons, as far as I know. You can pick one of each, and in one of the spirits, okay? So you can pick 1 power for each spirit. But in one of the spirits, you can pick 2. That will be your special spirit. Right, your enhanced spirit. You can pick 2 different ones. See, I cannot pick another one in the other, and if I remove this, I could pick this one, for example, right? And it turns red. So I go in hardcore. I go with reduced duration of CC. As I say, I really like this. You can go for reduced damage from elites too, but I kinda like that for this build. Okay, the CC immunity is very important. The game has a lot of CC, and in hardcore, the CC is what's gonna kill you. Okay. Maximum life because hardcore again. Attack speed fundamental. You could go as critical chance too when you want more damage. I think critical damage is okay, but I think you want a critical chance to get pulverized, even higher damage. Okay, to try to guarantee. But I feel like chance and damage is more for a pure wolf will, but you know, it still can be good. And the attack speed I think is fundamental for the build, so your mole and your bear feels smoother, and it's the whole reason to go this build, to use that attack speed from the bestial rampage, you know, along with the buffs from the wolf form. I think it's the main thing about the build, so your pulverize and your mole feels smoother. Because it's the biggest problem of the bear form, in my opinion, is it's too slow and too clunky, right? And the wolf is there to provide attack speed, and also this wound. Then you have Fortify when you use a defensive skill. Defensive skills are the Druid are for example, the wolf hole are the roars, right? The holes are the defensive skills. Obviously, you could use the earthen bulwark too, but the fact that I'm using 2 of them and they're gonna grant me Fortify is great. I have to test because maybe I have so much Fortify that I can drop some Fortify elsewhere. Like I can maybe drop the Fortify. In the trample, okay, and instead getting extra spirit. I can be okay, pretty good. The other extend duration of ultimate skills 25%. The bear skill lasts 10 seconds, is 2.5. I don't know if this applies to the extend duration if you kill enemies, that extends another 10 seconds. It's something you will have to test, but even with that in mind, I think that's something for a pure bear build perhaps. Then you have lucky hit and damage, chance to restore spirit. I think this is for elemental, but hey, maybe you want this and stack lucky hit. Critical strikes, chance to reset the cooldowns of your companion for a companion build, right? Then we have the snake. We have critical strikes, safe sitting heals you for 3 maximum life. I think this is great for sustain. You have magical skills, lightning, and this one maybe the 10th skill will cause you an earth skill to overpower. This can be good. Your earth skills are now as well as skills and 45. So you could use earth skills. That's another build, right? But it's worth mentioning that maybe like, if you find this unique, you can do earth skills with a werewolf, pure werewolf form. You are always werewolf form. you focus on fortify and you use certain skills. Passive will be very, very strong because it's a lot of enemies, so you can pulverize, kill 10 guys, and you can overpower again, and then the passive comes, overpower again. You are constantly overpowered. So this will be very, very strong, and maybe that's the natural path to transition to this build. I like to think about how you can transition builds, right? If you find uniques, one way you can do it is that way. You can turn into a pure bear build with earth skills, right? Giving 2 rank and then earth skills being better skills. That's the natural path. You don't need both of them. With one is fine, but let's say the uniques are very hard to gather, but we'll see about that, okay? Also, you can go wolf form too, obviously, but I think wolf is a bit too... There's ways of getting damage reduction with wolf, okay? I think the wolf is too squeezy for hardcore, so that's why I'm focusing a little bit more in bear. But you can make it work, okay? Probably even in hardcore. It's just... And if I find one of the uniques that give me some synergies with wolf, probably I will probably transition to a wolf build. But my idea is to go bear form because that's bear form with wolf as support, because that's how I feel this is the strongest and most resilient in particular, right? If you have watched up to this far, I appreciate it a lot. I want to mention difference between barb and druid, but I think I'll make that in another video. There's some, even in as melee skills, it's completely different, right? Obviously, 2 different classes, but it's worth making, it's a worth discussion, I think, because I was considering going barb as a main, and then I think I'm grading towards the druid more now, and both are melee type of builds, so obviously there's some things in common, right? For some of the fortified, overpowered, how it feels, what's tanky, right? What has more sustain, but that will be for another video. Tell me in the comments what you think about this build. I tested, it's gonna be clunky early game, as I say. Okay, I don't wanna bait anyone. This is what I'm gonna go for, but you don't have to. You can go level with elemental builds, focus on companion early on, they seem okay now. Try to have the strongest cooldowns that you can have with a bulk work, for example, and the boulder, and then maybe transition to this build at level 30. That honestly, Bestial Rampage is the reason for this build to exist. Without it, it's not even worth it. You can go pure bear form too, perhaps, you know, for leveling. That probably is gonna be fine. I just like the utility of healing early game with the blood hole and the ability to row. So I think I'm gonna go for early game, even if it's a bit clunky, okay? But yeah, until Bestial Rampage, there's not really a real synergy there for you to go for this build. Besides, you know, the attack speed that gives you more and the damage reduction that lingers after turning into a wall for 3 seconds. Besides that, it's not much of a synergy. It's just you use the pulverize for damage, then trying to shred to clean and reposition with the teleport, right? With the extra dash. But this is basically that. Still, I like it. I hope you guys like it and give you some ideas, okay? And yeah, this is probably what I'm gonna main. So Diablo for release is very soon. I'll see you there, and you guys will see. Can watch me on Twitch to see how I'm doing with this build. I'll try to get level 100 with hardcore. So yeah, see you in twitch.tv/supertis, and or maybe on the next video. See you there, guys. Well, yeah, compared to a bar, you sometimes do feel like made of paper, right?
I must wait a moment.
We need to kill Kotsika, no? Kotsika? Yeah, Kotsika is the hard one. Oh, you have, you know, the teleporter with the shred, the sustain, the health, the attack speed. You can obviously ignore that. Definitely the barb is gonna be tankier.
I'm not ready yet.
I mean, now I'm tanky. I don't know what's going on. Like, I don't care what's going on, right? Okay, let's see. That lady... What hurts more, this or this? Okay. We should kill this first then? We should kill the other lady first then.
I must wait a moment.
Ah, yeah, I should have lowered his health before. Go to the next phase, you know? That's why that way we'll have this fight with lower health. It's fine, you know? You just need to... For a build like this, you don't care that much, but you have more better AoE or something. Maybe it's best to do that. Sometimes in this game, I don't know when I'm tanking, when not. You know, sometimes I'm supposed to be tanking, I'm not. Man, the double dash is OP. I'm mandatory, you know.
I'm not ready yet.
I see that now. You dead? I missed that? Okay, I definitely missed that. It's no big problem if I stay too long in bear form, okay?
Your evil is done.
Yeah, fuck you. Basically. The problem is staying too long in wolf form, because that means that we don't have the PDR.